Oh, Cori likes to read, though.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
What are you reading right now?
I just finished a book, and I was actually out here while you were doing Lego, trying to find another book to read. So the one that I finished is called Shadowcroft Year 3 Academy for Dungeons.
Okay.
It's a reincarnation fiction where a guy ends up in dungeon school for dungeons. And
For making dungeons or crawling dungeons?
making dungeons, becoming a dungeon core,
Ooh, I see.
and protecting the tree of life or the tree of souls that all power in the universe comes from. And
Sick.
from the evil dungeoneers that want to suck planets dry, and it's
one
pretty
of those,
funny.
like,
It's
reverse-
reasonably funny. Yeah.
The
Bad guys are good and the good guys are bad.
Right.
And there's a lot of puns
Oh.
and references to stuff, and it's canonically Earth is a low magic place, so no one goes there. But the most beloved movie in the multiverse is Thor: Dark World.
That's really specific.
Because it's the most historically accurate
Of the
It's
Thor
also-
series?
of the Thor movies of the
Okay.
MCU.
It's also like really recent.
Yeah. I mean, this
Or
book...
maybe we just wait. Is it actually a much older movie and we just got it in on Earth recently? It's actually
There are a lot of questions.
it's a movie that was made on another planet.
But did you buy this book on paper?
No,
Okay.
no, just Kindle Unlimited.
Fair.
Is you say it's like Shadowcroft Year 3 or
3.
So
Yeah.
Is,
So it's
is there,
it's a
is there
4-year
year,
school.
Is there a year 1 and year 2?
Yeah.
Like it's a continuing
I read those
series?
last week.
They aren't like long books then.
They're normal lengths.
Okay. Would you say you would recommend this series?
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't have a lot of the problems that a lot of lit RPG or reincarnation fiction has. Kind of because the guy's a mushroom and his best friends are a satyr, a minotaur, and a moon moth.
Guy gets reincarnated as a mushroom.
Yeah,
Sick. Okay.
because he sucks, and so he only gets the really bad option, and so everyone expects him to die immediately, and he gets bullied.
Oh, he's like an ambulatory mushroom.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was
Starts
just...
as a little one.
Okay. I thought he might just kind of like grow and come out in like different
No.
places.
So he's just
No.
basically a Goomba.
Oh yeah, he's a Goomba.
And it's also a cultivation fiction, so
Oh.
they spend a lot of time meditating,
Uh-huh.
and then you crack open evolution and you get a monster upgrade.
Right, and some people are stuck on like the single early realm of this, and
Yep.
then somebody else is suppressing their aura,
Yeah.
so that they are not known that they are on a much higher level.
Yeah.
But then somebody else comes in, and then the guy spits blood out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Good.
these
I just watched a video today. Basically,
Cultivation
it was
fiction.
every single trope from Cultivation anything, and I was like, oh, I was gonna watch that in about a minute. So
do these kinds of books sometimes get turned into actual like video games? RPG, like because the idea
I don't
it's
know
like
about video
sort of
games.
using video game RPG tropes, right?
They're kind of in the same realm as light novels or web novels, where there's potential for like anime.
yeah, the hard thing
But-
about making an actual game system based on how these things work is that being written, they tend to become fairly arbitrary power fantasy.
Yeah, and they mostly only care about like the protagonist. So if you're like trying to build a class system around what someone's written for just one special character,
Right.
they end up with some real wonky stuff. It's also like they're like very bespoke, experience-based things.
Yeah.
I know sometimes those kinds of things like spend a seemingly inordinate amount of time actually working on the mechanics of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
system, and it's like I think you actually just wanted to make a video game.
There's one that I really like
Yeah.
called the Wirekey Chronicles, where interior in the space, the martial artists have to build a house to house all of their powers and stuff. So they have to spend time finding rare materials, putting them in their soul space, and then like building bricks and like doing window trim. And it goes into a lot of detail.
Does the window trim make their powers stronger?
Yes!
Okay. The nicer your house is, the stronger the powers.
So what I'm
will
hearing
get.
is it's like it's like a fighting and also base building
Yeah.
game. I feel like that game would be totally my jam.
Yeah.
I think, like, these people write these books because if they would actually develop the game, that would be like way too annoying for them. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you write the book and you hope someone else likes it enough to make the game for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because then they would have to go through the difficulties of actually making the game.
Yeah. In this world, there are people who are called idea men.
Me.
But it is like an interesting aspect of it, though, right? It's like this, and I think that's smart. Like, it's the idea of taking, rather than sort of trying to make whatever a game and getting immediately sort of bogged down in the like actual mechanics of like how do I make a Unity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going wild with it and building it and doing it and stuff. And and maybe at some point
If you've made it sufficiently compelling, somebody will come along.
It becomes a thing that could turn into a game.
Yeah.
Or maybe it sort of transforms into something where you don't even want it to be that.
I mean, like, I have seen certain anime that achieves because I feel like that's almost like the way it goes. Is it's like write a light novel or a web novel. If it achieves a certain level of notoriety and success, it will probably turn into like either an indie game of some sort, but more likely it's going to become a manga.
Yeah.
And then if that gets popular, then someone will want to pick it up as an anime, because developing like 3 or 4 year game around the thing that you're creating, that's much more difficult to do.
And it requires like a team and experience and stuff like that. There's also like, they're kind of trying to capture the player feeling of the game play instead of like necessarily the gameplay loop.
Yeah, and you might be like, and in a case like that too, it's like, do you want, like, you as the reader, like, it would be so sick to play a game that is like Dungeon Maker, but then also has these solo RPG elements, but then also has this other thing where I get to like learn how to cook or like, all those kind of things. It's like, right, I can just write a story that gives you all the kind of the best flavors of that, and you can just enjoy that.
And a combination, and the way it's experienced in the story, it wouldn't probably actually work out for real in a game.
Yeah.
But in a story, you can have all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Magic Christmas land of games.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, you don't need to make the mechanics actually function.
But I like that because there are so many sort of popular novels that are sort of mainstream, that are sort of have ostensibly stuff about video games in it that are so completely out of whack, written by people who don't actually play video games or understand anything about video games. It's cool when there are people who are actually clearly passionate about the topic, but not getting so much that they're sort of bogged down in the nitty-gritty details. But
I didn't explain the challenge because I was having a good time listening, but you would recommend that as it's a fun thing to read. So the challenge is, of course, book recommendations from everybody in the room. When we started, it was Paul and me and you, I think, at the time. But now everybody
You asked me
else...
what I was reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What are you reading? And you would recommend that. Is anybody else reading anything right now? Because rather than be like, think about the books that you've read or whatever, are you reading anything right now where you're like, I'm reading this, I do like it, or I'm trying to get through it to get to another one or whatever, I would recommend it, or no, I'd only recommend it if you've done, like, that kind of thing. Anyone have a book they're reading right now that they would...
does audiobook count?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm currently listening to Taking Charge of Adult ADHD.
Oh,
Okay.
And it's like written by this guy who basically sort of was part of the people who sort of discovered ADHD, and who has been like researching ADHD for like 40 years. And it's like really one of the best books on like ADHD and how to handle it the best. So yeah, if you have ADHD, I don't think I can recommend any other book more.
wow.
It's based on like strategies of things like coping mechanism and stuff like that, or like how to maximize getting things done if you can't concentrate on stuff, or
It basically gives you on the most modern science, like the approach is you can try, and and also what the science says, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
To gain a better understanding. Okay. Nice.
It's cool that it's actually, you know, there's often the books about those kinds of topics can be just kind of filled with whatever fairly useless stuff, but the idea that it's actually got, and I would imagine that in an audiobook, actually, if somebody is actually struggling with ADHD, an audiobook might be a good way to consume it, because then you can be sort of doing other stuff, or you can be, you know, you can consume it in that form, as opposed to having to sort of be forced to focus on it in a book form, which may not be an ideal circumstance.
Is there a case, like, is it a case that it's like people will find it's like I can't pay attention to something with my eyes, but I can more with my ears?
Depends.
So people
Yeah.
do it different.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's highly dependent. I mean, for me, I'm very bad at multitasking. Like I can't. If I'm listening to something, if I've got I like to listen to podcasts, but if I'm doing that, I can't do anything else. Like
That requires thinking.
anything, it has to be something that's completely, you know, folding laundry or
Yeah,
Playing solitaire.
I like having podcasts on when I'm like going for a jog or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah.
But I know, like for instance, Kathleen always listens to music when she works,
Right.
and that's just how she does stuff. But I can't listen to music when I'm actually doing like difficult work.
Ah.
I actually got the book and listen to the audiobook. So sometimes most of the times I hear the audiobook, but sometimes I read a chapter or something. Especially if I wanna really I'm really interested in one chapter, then I often get out the book and sort of slowly go through it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hard to rewind an audiobook to
exactly.
find the spot you're
That
trying to
makes sense,
reference.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually actually got the big print book, so it's like this big of a book that just lies around in my
Oh, nice.
apartment.
Heck yeah.
It's a good visual reminder just to see it. Like, oh yeah, I should read this.
Was it Cameron that I don't think he came up with the idea, but he mentioned something. He's like listening to an audiobook and having the book is subtitles for an audiobook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing, but it's like, yeah, I guess it is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conceptually, I really like Whisper Sync, which I think is the Amazon Audible. Like, it'll highlight the text that the audiobook is playing.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So it has that sort of
Yeah.
whatever your particular way of consuming the information, you can kind of switch back and forth.
That's really neat.
Can I talk about something I've been reading?
Yes.
I've started getting really into a couple of web novels on Royal Road that a friend has recommended to me. If you like really complicated stories where like bizarre stuff happens and then it all gets explained and you have to try to keep track of like sometimes it's just a weird world, sometimes it's full of foreshadowing, kind of like Owl House, but without being restrained by Disney. I recommend there's a story called Leftover Apocolypse. It's about someone getting, kidnapped away into a magical world and then dealing with just a bunch of really bizarre circumstances. But I love that the protagonist, like very high up in her problem-solving flowchart, includes theft, stabbing, and arson. So, she's a great perspective character.
Yeah. Royal Road is great. It's basically the source of a lot of the books that I'm reading. They're kind of like the published version. And Royal Road's kind of just like the scratch pad that people get chapters out in. And have comment sections.
That's a website?
Yeah.
It's also the name of the university here in town. So,
Yeah.
alright.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's basically the Amazon version of AO3.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. First books, I just finished reading Adrian Newey's book, How to Build a Car, I think. Which you would think would be quite a big book, but it's actually not. So, I found it very enjoyable. It's definitely a book written by a very competitive engineer, in that it kind of goes by year. If you don't know Adrian Newey, he's kind of the most successful Formula One car designer. and it kind of breaks it down by year, and the years where his card did well are very long, and the years where his card did not do very well are very short chapters. It's like, it doesn't matter.
So
Don't worry about that year.
it's like an autobiography?
Yeah. Yeah, autobiography from Adrian Newey, going through his career and, starting from his, university days and whatever, and then going through all the years of doing Formula One designing. But, yeah, you have to take it all with a great, and, same thing, the years where they found a loophole in the rules, it's like, oh, we came up with this brilliant thing to, take advantage of this. And the years where another team found a loophole, they go, oh, well, it was questionable if that should have even been allowed. Yeah. But it does give a lot of really good insights. So it was a fun read. Yeah, that's my book recommendation.
I wasn't reading it recently, but there's a wonderful book by Roger Corman, autobiography, called How I Made 100 Movies in Hollywood and Never Lost a Dime.
Okay.
Roger Corman, the king of
B movies.
B movies, possibly C movie, the quick movies, and just all these silly things they were doing. Talking about stuff like editing explosions from other movies into trailers.
Okay.
Because they made the trailer more exciting, and it's like by the time people are in the theater, they've already paid the money.
Fair.
So it's fine.
I suppose.
Or the cast on they're doing a western, and a character who was playing the bad guy. He was in the movie 3 times. He's one of the side characters. He's the bad guy, and then he's also part of the posse that's going after his own character. Because they didn't have enough people to do it.
Right. Which would be great, because I totally pictured that scene in MST3K or something where they're like, hey, wait, that's him right there, right? Just in the background. Yeah, what's he doing here?
Famously the Little Shop of Horrors, the Roger Corman Little Shop of Horrors, was filmed, I think, in 2 days.
Wow.
And basically there was another film happening, and they were like, just leave the sets up for 2 more days. We'll finish shooting this. Okay. He would always do that. He would be like, write me a script that needs this, 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 and this. Why? Because I have that thing.
What was I watching that... Sorry, we're talking about books. I'm not going to derail things. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not currently reading that. I read that a while ago, and I highly recommend if you're looking again. But it's a similar situation where it's him talking about it. So from his perspective, everything always worked perfectly.
Of course,
it's great. You could, you probably caused all sorts of damage to all sorts of things, but you kind of read between the lines a little bit, but highly entertaining.